Fáilte leis, you're very welcome to Suantraí Íosa. Welcome back, those of you who are coming back. Welcome to those who are coming for the first time to Suantraí Íosa, where we look at the readings for tomorrow. Now, the gospel this tomorrow is a perfect example of Christ's sense of humor. And he's talking about, why do you observe the splinter in your brother's eye and never see the plank in your own? Christ uses humor to avoid our defenses, because when we're criticized, we often become very defensive. But if somebody can make us laugh by asking a question, can one blind man guide another? Surely they'll fall into a hole. And people, if they're open at all, will have a laugh at that concept, unless, of course, you have a blind person in the family, and then you'll kind of feel it is very serious. But it is an example of Christ using humor to teach us to become self-aware. It isn't about seeing the other people who have the plank in their eye. It's about seeing the fact that there's a mighty big plank in our own eye. How do we discover these things? Well, the book, first reading tomorrow, is taken from the book of Ecclesiasticus. We're talking about learning from our own words, listening to what we're saying, because our words betray what's in our heart. This is vitally important. And at the end of the day, it's always a good thing to reflect back over your conversations. Sometimes I'll reflect back over my conversations and I'll realize, today I have been very lonely. Today I have been distracted. If you go back and reflect on what you said and did in situations, but particularly what we say reveals what is happening in our hearts. And we need to reflect on ourselves. And of course, Psalm 92, we can then use, out of a place of awareness, we can use our voices and our words and our singing to make music to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your love in the morning and your truth in the watches of the night. And our hearts do desire to sing the praises of God, to be happy. And Christ uses humor to teach. He also uses happiness as a motivation to prayer. And when we're in pain, joy as a motivation to prayer. Happiness is when everything's going well. Joy is when we know we are loved, even though we're suffering. And the second reading, never give in, dear brothers and sisters. Never admit defeat. Keep on working at the Lord's work, always knowing that in the Lord you cannot labor in vain. Isn't that beautiful? And of course, that brings us straight to the gospel. Can one blind person lead another? Why do you observe the splinter in your own brother's eye? And I keep a plank here in the house, in the corner. And sometimes when I get pretentious or pompous or whatever, and I notice that, I say, now it's time to pick up the plank because it's got out of the corner and got into my eye, and put it back in the corner. These humorous images help us grow in the works of the gospel. And it is lovely to see that Christ was so careful and so wise that he would use humor. And when you're working with people, humor is a great way of getting past their defenses. You can raise difficult issues with a self-deprecating humor in which you're not seen to be accusing others, but reflecting on the brokenness of humanity, in which you share too, and laughing at it, not taking it too seriously. I hope you have a good night's rest. I hope you reflect on your words. I hope you reflect on what your words are showing you. With thoughts such as these, let us go to our beds and let us pray that we shall indeed awaken in the morning with the praise of God on our hearts and on our lips. Agus go manadia le cóta shiv, ahar mac agus spirit nave. Amen. Slán go fóill. Bye for now.